So the Unified Club was started probably back in 2013 is when we technically started the program. I wasn't a part of that. That was started by one of the counselors whose husband is actually the CEO of Special Olympics Minnesota. And so she started with just a basketball program, and then the following year, what we did was she recruited me because my Calc 2 class did the polar plunge to raise money for that group that was doing the basketball. And the following year she asked if I would be willing to assist her in developing the program. So we were co-advisors in the 2013-2014 school year and added some more sports. And then in 2015 she left Orono, and that just kind of left me in charge, and so then I became the Unified Advisor at Orono / head of delegation for the Orono Spartans at Special Olympics Minnesota. So we first started the plunge in 2013 to raise money for that basketball team. So I have been doing the plunge since 2013. I have not missed a year. There was one year that I actually plunged 4 different times. First of all, I mean, if you are a Minnesotan, you have to do the plunge, right? So honestly, the first year that I did it, I was freaking out because I have a huge fear of water, and I was drowned twice when I was little. So I just am not. It's like I can't do this. I can't do this. And then after doing it and making sure that I was on the shallow end of the lake so I could feel the ground, it was actually not that bad. But I think every year that you do the plunge, you still get those nerves kicking in, and then the whole shock of the cold water. But it's actually a lot of fun. As much as that sounds weird, it's a lot of fun, and you have bragging rights.
We're here at Benay-Makaska with the Orono Unified Club and their advisor, Michelle Swenson, as they participate in the polar plunge for the 10th year in a row. We keep in mind that they're here, freezing for a reason, on this rainy day in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Swen was accompanied by students, their families, and former students as she took the plunge. As a group, they raised over $12,000, with half of the proceeds going to the club and the other half going to Special Olympics Minnesota.
2, 1, go!
So honestly, the biggest thing is just showing up to meetings, so paying attention to our Instagram, which is Orono Unified Club, because I usually just post on there like, we have a meeting today. Typically we meet in the gym. You can talk to like Freya Clifford, Charlie Krause, Riley Snow, or Bradley Walker. They're the chairs and vice chairs on how or when a meeting is going to occur. But the biggest thing that we always look at is meeting attendance, because I know a lot of kids want to play sports, but we also want to make sure that you're fully involved in the club. So whenever we decide who gets to be a coach or a partner for a sport, we look at meeting attendance, because we want to make sure that you're in the club and a part of the club and understand and have met all of our athletes and possible coaches and other unified partners before you just get into a sport.
This past January, Orono hosted the Special Olympics Unified Basketball Tournament right here in our own activity center. With many schools in attendance, teams saw great success in their performance. Other than basketball, the Unified Club has participated in sports such as flag football, bowling, and dance. In the spring, the club looks to start soccer and track.
I have made a lot of connections with the athletes. It has been, I remember when I first started and they would hardly talk to me because they didn't really know me. But now, some of them call me mom sometimes. I do have a Special Olympics sweatshirt that says Special Olympics Mom, because I basically am a mom of like 40 to 50 kids who are at an event. I'm hoping that as restrictions have lightened up with COVID, that we can bring back young athletes and Unified Juniors, which I think will help more kids get involved, because then we have those programs that kids can do. Also, we used to go over to the elementary school and middle schools and mentor, and we haven't been able to do that, so hopefully getting kids into that mentoring, especially over with Mrs. Stankovitz. She loves having kids over there, so just being able to get some high school mentors over into her classroom mentoring is huge, and I think just, being more inclusive overall, right? So not just like at sports, but also on the weekends or at sporting events or in hallways or at lunch, just making sure that everybody has a place, and not just students that have an intellectual disability, but just anyone who is sitting by themselves, that somebody goes up and sits with them, or a new student, somebody goes up and introduces themselves and welcomes them. So,
So far this school year, SWIN has helped to come lead and organize the club through many sports, such as unified bowling, basketball, flag football, and dance. As a club advisor and a teacher, balancing her workload is a skill she has come to master.
In 2013, the Unified Club was founded at Orono High School. Recruited to help run and fundraise, SWIN helped the Unified Club grow immensely through the years. What began as a one-sport club has evolved into multiple sports and activities, which offers many different ways for students to become involved.
From the Spartan Speaks, this is Delaney Whitney,
Brooklyn Olsen Peter,
And Sydney Govrick.